Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be able to address you, even if not in person. And I'm happy and thankful for the invitation to be here with you today. And I think the message that I want to bring you is about human rights and how human rights make a difference and should make a difference, must make a difference in shaping the post-2015 development agenda, in general, but also when it comes to water and to sanitation in particular. This means that we have to avoid the mistakes that we made in the past. What does it mean? It means that, for example, the normative content of the human right to water and sanitation has to be part of the future agenda. And in that regard, I would like to draw your attention to the work that has been done by the JMP UNICEF 4 working groups that have developed a set of proposals for future targets and indicators on water, sanitation and hygiene that, in my opinion, address a human rights perspective and the content of the human right to water and sanitation. Furthermore, and in the context also of these working groups, we have been working on the elimination of inequalities. And this is an issue that is very dear to me, since what I see in the country missions that I undertake as UN Special Rapporteur on the human right to water and sanitation is that we have persistent, when not growing, inequalities between different population groups, between rich people and poor people, between people living in rural areas and in urban areas, people living in formal or informal settlements, and people belonging to the general population versus people belonging to disadvantaged groups. This is unacceptable, and we cannot continue to widen the gap between these two groups. We have to close the gap, and to close the gap, what we need is to focus on those who have been left behind up until now. We need faster rates of progress among those who have been excluded, so as to make sure that, again, the gap is closed and that we arrive at 2030, the end date of the future goals. Well, nobody knows, but probably it will be the end date of the future goals, and we are not faced again with some unintended consequences of a regime that deepens inequalities. So I think that the contribution of human rights to water and sanitation is to be closer to the needs of people, to be closer to what needs to be in place, what governments have to invest in, to make sure that everybody gets access to safe water, to accessible water, to affordable water, and also sanitation, also in conditions of dignity and in privacy, for now and for the future. The report that I presented the day before yesterday to the Human Rights Council dealt precisely with the issue of sustainability, and without sustainability, what we might have is continuous slippages, or as we say in human rights term, retrogressions in realizing these rights, which obviously is prohibited by human rights law. So the future goal has not only to address the normative content of the right to water and sanitation, it has to refer to sustainability and to the progressive elimination of inequalities. I hope that all of you present here today will promote these ideas and the inclusion of these ideas into the future development framework, and that these ideas are operationalized in the post-2015 development agenda. Thank you very much for your attention.